Greg and I are back here on the Senior Network, and we have been joined by Jim Keith from Keith's Funeral Home. And you have to introduce this young lady. You've known her for a long time, I understand.
We're just chatting. Yes. It's been Susan Kelsey with Assistance Plus. Glad to have you. Thank you so much.
We've been having fun sort of talking today on this show, talking about a lot of things related to aging gracefully. Is that a way to say that?
Sure.
I want to talk a little bit. I know that you're a care manager, but I want to talk first a little bit about preparing for death, preparing those very difficult events. We've had some tough talks here today.
We spoke earlier about that, exactly.
But we want to be proactive, and we want to, listen to me, I want some choice, exactly as when I die.
Well, I can tell you that nobody wants to make those calls or make those decisions, and that's one of the things that makes everything so challenging, is that nobody really wants to address it because we all realize we're mortal. One of the most important things I tell everybody is whether or not you want to prepay, do anything but tell somebody what you want. If you want cremation, if you want burial, just tell them. You don't have to write it down, you don't have to get fancy, but let somebody know.
Well, let me ask you a question then. Do we come to see you? And you're on Arrow Road.
Right.
I said,
Arrow
I
Road.
drive there every day,
Yeah.
and I'm like, ha ha ha, I'm not going to go
63
in.
Arrow Road on the south end, yeah.
Right. But I think rather than saying, ha ha ha, I'm not going to go in, maybe I should say, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be proactive. I'd like to come in and at least know what options are available. I don't know. Do you know?
I do not.
Do you know? No. I mean, I really don't, to be honest with you.
It's amazing how many people just stop by and they're so excited to see another funeral home on the south end. And they just stop by and they look, and it doesn't look like any funeral home you've ever seen. It looks like someone's living room. It's not dingy and dark. It's bright and airy. And I'll come to your house, though. You don't have to come to the funeral home if you don't want to. I'll come to your house. A lot of people are more comfortable just sitting at their dining room table with their family. And I lay out the options, and there's no pressure or anything like that. I just pretty much tell you what your choices are.
What are your choices?
Well, Hilton Head
he was trying to,
Hilton Head is 85% cremation. So 85% of the people on Hilton Head are going to cremate with something. So they're either going to have something at a church or at the funeral home, or they're going to have a viewing maybe at the funeral home or at church or something like that. But the end result is almost always cremation on Hilton Head.
Jim, can I interrupt you and say, I don't even know what the process is.
The process is you call me. You don't have to do anything else. From the time you call me, I take care of everything.
Which means what? I guess
Which means you call me, I come to the house. If someone has passed away, I come to the house with some people. Well, we take them into our care. We bring them back to the funeral home. We do all the paperwork. We contact the doctor. We get the death certificate signed. We'll help you with the insurance policies. We'll notify Social Security. We deliver the cremated remains back to you if you want with the death certificates from the time you call us, so you don't have to do anything else.
You know what I heard? What is he? He's a care manager.
I did know what he did after death because that helps my clients, and I have a checklist that I use, and some of the things say this will be taken care of by the funeral director.
All right, you have to talk to us about Assistance Plus then. Now that we got a handle on this one. Now, Assistance Plus comes in. What does a care manager do?
Well, a care manager is a specialized healthcare professional. They're usually social workers, nurses, rehabilitation specialists, gerontologists. They can be mental health specialists, psychologists. Somebody who has a background with older adults and they have had time to decide that this is what they really want to specialize in, because you really have to like what you do to do this.
How do we know how we get to you? How do we, well, that's not really true now. Family can do that too. But how do we get to you? At what point in time would a care manager be recommended?
That's a good question. Many times it's out-of-town adult children who have, they just have busy lives. This is a retirement community, so we have a lot of adult children who are at a distance. And so what they do is they will somehow hear about a geriatric care manager, or sometimes we're now called aging life care specialists.
Oh, I like that.
I think the term geriatric has somewhat of a negative connotation.
Well, because we're in that,
Yeah.
and I really,
We don't want to say
I'm not saying that, right.
Right. And a lot, senior is another term. I like to use older adults as well. But those adult children who are at a distance, or even siblings who just don't have the time, or come here and visit and realize things have deteriorated and they don't know what to do, they want to find out what they can do. So that's one group of people that we service. To find us, they often call their doctors. You know, they may, if they have been reading sometimes in some of the publications, New York Times, Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, I saw it in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, there'll be something about care management.
Specifically, what does a care manager do? In other words, I'm calling for my parents and I'm saying I'm noticing some significant changes. Help me understand what a care manager's role is.
Probably the cornerstone of what we do is we do an assessment. We go in and we visit with the older adults, and we look at their environment, their safety. We look at their nutrition. We look at their medication management. We look at their mental health state, their cognitive state, and their network that they have. And physical environment is also
critical.
Yes.
And you know, from a standpoint we spoke earlier about, you know, with our company, home care companies, we rely a lot on, like Susan and Assistance Plus, because we get into situations, just like Susan mentioned, where there's no support system, there's no family. And we're there basically just to provide the care. We're not there to pay the bills or take care of the home and do all the other things, or look at possible options of assisted living and do a lot of homework in those areas. And that's when a company like us would contact Assistance Plus, and she comes in, evaluates the whole situation, and kind of takes charge of that, and then let us do what we do best, and that's do the care, and she comes in and does all the rest around that.
And kind of bringing it full circle, and I know we have to take a quick break, and then coming back to you, is I'm once again assuming that this is sort of an interdisciplinary team that would work together. We're going to take a quick break here on the Senior Network. We'll be right back.